What's up, guys? So in this video, I'm just gonna explain the importance of investing earlier than later in life, because I know every time I talk to people, they always say that they're gonna wait for the right time to invest. They don't have enough money to invest, and in this video, I'm just gonna explain the reasons why I think that you should invest. And I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna play out a scenario with you guys to show you what investing can do for you in a short term and in a long term. So without further ado, let's get into the video. In this case, we're gonna explain how it'll be like if you were a 21-year-old and you would just want to invest until you're the age of 25. In this scenario, we're gonna assume that you're gonna invest into the S&P 500, which give or take averages a 10 to 12% return, but we'll be conservative and only use the 10%. And then we're gonna also assume that I'm in the state of New Jersey, so the minimum wage for New Jersey is $15.13. So we're gonna use that as the hourly rate, and 40 hours per week is what he would be working, assuming he's a he. He can be a she as well, but 40 hours per week, we're going to assume that they do not have any bills. They don't have any, they don't have to pay any rent. They have a phone bill of $80. They have food expense, which is $300. They have an internet bill, which is $100. They have $250 to spend on if they wanted to go out and do miscellaneous things. And they spend $160 on gasoline. This is assuming that they have a car, the insurance is paid off by their parents, rent is paid by their parents. All the other necessities are covered by the parents, which leaves us with the gross amount per paycheck would be $1,210.40. Now, we're gonna assume that 15% of taxes are going to be taken out of that gross paycheck. So, which leaves you with a balance of $1,028.84. Now, we're going to assume that this person is being paid bi-weekly, which means they're going to be receiving two paychecks per month. So you multiply the $1,028.84 by 2, which leaves you with $2,057.68. Now, if we subtract the phone bill, the phone bill, the food bill, the internet bill, the miscellaneous bills, and we subtract the gasoline bill, that totals out to $890. And remainder, you have the remainder of this particular individual has $1,167.86 for the month. Now, let's assume that the $1,167.68 is invested into the market. Now, let's move over into our investment screen. Okay, guys, so here I am going to input the information that we gathered. So right now, we're assuming that this 21-year-old does not have anything saved up. He doesn't have anything invested. All right. And he starts off with zero. Now, we said we're going to do it from the age of 21 to the age of 25. Now, since that's a 4-year difference, we're going to switch this to the number 4 years. And then we said we're going to be conservative. The S&P 500 returns either 10%, 10 to 12% return yearly on average. So we're going to assume that the return rate is going to be 10%. And the compounding interest would be quarterly, since the S&P does pay a dividend. So a dividend is basically compounds your money. I'll go into more detail about that later, but we're going to leave that as quarterly. And like I said, the annual contribution, we're going to assume that the entire amount is going to go into the S&P 500. All right. Which is $1,167.68. Now, he's going to contribute it in the end of each month, and we'll see what amount will be generated. Now, this is just over the course of 4 years. Now, $68,452.35 is what you would have by the age of 25 if you were to start investing $1,167.68 over the course of 4 years. Now, there are some people who make more than minimum wage at the age of 21. So this is just a small example. If you take a look at it, you look at what's being deposited over the course of 1 year, and you deposited $14,012.16 over the course of 1 year. You see, you do it for all 4 years, but after the first year, the amount of interest that you get is $654.82, leaving you with $14,666.98 and 98 cents. If you notice, every year it's being increased more. Your interest was 600 the first year, the second year it's 2,000, the third year it's almost 4,000, and then the fourth year is almost 6,000. So this is just a small example. There are some cases where some people would return a 20%. They'll get a 20% return some years. So it'll all fluctuate. This is just going based off of if it was a 10% return. Now, if we do 12%, we'll see a minor change. You see the minor change is instead of 600, it's 700. It's still around $2,000, a little on the higher end. It's more closer to 3,000. And in the third year, you see it's closer to 5,000, and then in the fourth year, you see 7,000 being increased. Now, that's just a 2% difference. Now, if you do a 20% return, which is a 20% return, is kind of, I mean, it's only if you're investing in. I'm not a financial advisor, but there are companies out there that return 20% on a yearly basis. But this is just assuming that you invest and your return is 12%. This is just 4 years. Now, let's just say you want to stay with your parents for until you're the age of 30, which is from the age of 21 to the age of 30, which is 9 years. Let's just say you want to stay there for 9 years and everything doesn't change. You still have the same investment amount. Let's just see what happens. Now, like I said, it's 71,000. I'll leave it at 12%. You're left with, by the age of 30, you would have $228,860.19. If we look up the average net worth of a 30-year-old, you won't be off by that much. The average 20-year-old is 100,000, and the average 30-year-old is close to 300,000. You're not that off. You're $70,000 off. But if you really think about it, you started off being at zero. I mean, and those numbers are misconstrued because there are some people who make more than other 30-year-olds, but at least you will be slightly below average. At least it's better than being at zero. I can tell you that much. That's why I say it's better to invest early than it is to invest later on in life, because you have so much. You see, look how much interest is being added into your money. The more money you have, the more money that you have invested, the more money would be returned to you in the form of compounding. So that's just my 2 cents on it. I just wanted to go over that little scenario. If this is a video that you guys think you'll be interested in, hit the like button, comment. If you have any questions, hit the comment section, ask me any questions. Until next time, peace.